How's it going, everyone? So what do I have now? I have got a 2012 Chevy Malibu that got towed into me because she said the steering was getting really weird on it. She said it would vibrate oddly, like if you just put light pressure on it, and all of a sudden she lost her steering, meaning not that it like all of a sudden became free or something like that. She said it got extremely tight and very difficult to turn. Now these have basically a manual steering rack, and it has a electric motor function that attaches to the steering column itself that actually turns that manual steering rack. So let me show you something here real quick. I have the scanner hooked up to it. I haven't done anything yet. I haven't even looked. I just have it plugged in with the vehicle make and model. But let me show you this. So now, here's the steering wheel, and I'm just going to put light pressure with my hand. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that jumping at all. It's doing that on its own. See it vibrating? I mean, it's kicking me back. I'm not doing that. It's actually forcing my finger back. I can't. Yeah, it's weird because it's like all of a sudden it starts forcing you back. So let's scan it for codes and see what we got. So here we are. We're plugged in. Sorry about that. Let me see. Let me get a good spot here without glare. That's the problem. I can't get a spot without glare. All right, so let's try this. Okay, so we're okay there. We're going to do a code scan, a pre-scan. I'm sorry, actually the screen on my computer there is really dirty. I just realized it. So you can see up here it says it's 37.43% detected. You got to wait till it finishes. You could try scrolling through, but what happens is as it gets to the next module and the numbers go up, it'll kick you back to this point. So you're better off just waiting till it finishes everything. Once it finishes, before I continue, I'm going to clean off the screen real quick. So you can see all the different modules that it's checking for. All right, so there it's done. Let me just clean off that screen real quick. So there we go, that's a little bit better. So now what do we have? System disabled information and anti-lock. Can I get a spot there? Invalid serial data received, blah, 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 blah. Power steering, steering wheel torque input sensor. History DTC, see that? That's gonna be my issue. So I've never dealt with one of these systems before, so I have no idea where this is going to bring me. Let me just see. Blah, 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 blah. So, on the radio, we're not worried about that. Okay, so the only code that we're really worried about, honestly, is that one. Now, I got to go into the power steering control module to see any more information on it. So let me see. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can't go into that. So let me back out of this. Power steering control module. Now, I do not know if this is going to give me any assistance like it would if it was a PCM. My PCM codes will give me some... okay. I am in the right thing, ain't I? Codes, no, history codes, there we go. Okay, it actually does. See on the top there? Common replaced parts based on 116 repairs. Let's just see. Steering column. Okay, and I was kind of thinking that, only because of things that I've read in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and look up the diagnostics for that code. Now let me just see if I have a troubleshooter in here, which I might. Let's see. Yes, I do. Troubleshooter. Oops, nah, like an idiot, I didn't remember what the code was. C0545? No, it's not there. It's in history code. C0545. Okay, I can remember that. Let's back out. code tips, CO codes, C05 codes, C0545. So there it goes. It gives me a whole bunch of stuff just telling me about the description of the circuit. Normally, I can figure out what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with it, by just reading the description. Reading the description will give you, how the system works, what makes it work, the inputs and outputs that it has, like what does it need to see for a system to do whatever it's supposed to do, and blah, 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 blah. And through that, I can usually figure out, okay, what's missing, what's going wrong. To me, description and operation of a system is the best way to figure out what's going on, at least for me. I look at things, people say I look at things differently than other people do, and that's why I can figure certain things out. I don't know, it's just, just how I am. But it might work for some of you too. But to me, I always found that knowing how something works and why something works is the number one way to figure out how to fix the problem. So I'm going to read this and let me see what I can come up with. So I'm going to pause this for a little bit. In reading the description and operation, I found that what there is you have the shaft that comes down from the steering wheel. Basically, it's the input, the driver is the input, and it goes down to the motor, or through the motor actually, or into the motor, whatever. And what happens is you have different sensors that read the position of the steering wheel, and you have a torque load sensor or steering position sensor, or whatever you want to call it, down below. What happens is that sensor actually goes bad, and that's what controls the steering wheel, the amount of effort that it gives the electric motor. So in that steering shaft that goes down, it's actually a torsion bar, and the torsion bar will flex a certain amount. So it sees a certain amount of flex when you cut the wheels, left or right. And when it sees that flex, it says, okay, I've got, I don't know, let's just say 5 degrees of movement on top, and I have 1 degree of movement at the bottom. We have to add steering assist. So it'll add steering assist. This way you get, faster response on the steering. Obviously, if you're cruising down the road and you cut the wheels just a little bit, to go with the turn in the road, you're going to have very little deflection. So the torsion bar is not going to twist as much. But if you're in a parking lot and you got to do, you got to back into a spot or back out of a spot, you're going to cut the wheels all the way one way, and you're only going half a mile an hour, you're going to have a lot of deflection. So it sees that and it adds assist. What I've been reading on it is that sensor that's at the bottom, that actually goes bad, and it gives an erratic reading and stuff like that. So what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to see who has that sensor, and I'm going to see where I can get it from and order one, because I got a funny feeling that's what's going on. I did look at information on the scanner, the data, and of course right now the steering's working absolutely fine. It's not doing anything wrong now. So of course when I look at the information on the scanner, the data, nothing looks erratic. Everything is where it's supposed to be. So just judging by everything I'm seeing, I'm going to do some more research on it tonight. I got a funny feeling that it's just that sensor. It is a replaceable piece. You got to pull the column out. I believe the motor comes out with it, and you have to separate the two pieces, and there's a whole procedure. I will cover that in a video because it looks kind of interesting what I have read so far. So that's where we're going with this. If you're getting something out of my videos, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. And like I said, I'm going to follow this up with another video on actually how to replace that part, because I'm pretty darn confident that's what it's going to be, because it's what it looks like it's going to be. All right, that's it for right now. You guys have a great day. Keep wrenching.